Cindy Cisneros, Certified Creativity Coach, and this is part of the Business Basics videos to help artists and creatives launch and grow their business. So if you saw the shorter video about marketing strategies and marketing plan, this is the longer video where we're going to dive in a little bit deeper about what goes into your marketing strategy, what goes into your marketing plan, and this goes with some worksheets, handouts, downloadables that are on my Business Basics free course. So if you haven't subscribed to that course, I recommend doing that so that you have those handouts in front of you while you watch this video, so you can really kind of dive in and follow along while you listen and have those materials in front of you. So this video is about how to write a marketing strategy, how to build your marketing plan. And this is really to serve as an introduction as to what all of that is and how to get started with it. Now, be patient with yourself, because when I was doing Business Basics, this is something that I visited and revisited again and again and again. So this may serve for you if this is the first time you're really getting into it. It's just absorbing everything for the first time, but prepare yourself to come back to it and to absorb things piece by piece. Let's start with how to write a marketing strategy. So a marketing strategy has some big key components in it, and we're going to break it down into 12 main pieces, and all of these are laid out in writing for you so that you can look at them while you're listening. But we're going to go through 10 of them first, broad strokes, and we're going to stop once we get through 10, because I think that those first 10 you want to go through before you kind of start on your marketing plan, and then you can go through and do the last two steps. So the first thing that you want to do with your marketing strategy, and again, marketing is really once you've done your business plan. Marketing is for business out into the world, and this is the plan that you're going to build on how to do this in an organized way. So the first thing that you're going to do is to define the objectives of your marketing strategy. So you want to identify your goals, your efforts, and set up some metrics on how you want to do this. And again, this is really broad strokes. We could dive in to the specifics of how you want to do each of these, but I want you to just kind of begin to wrap your mind around what goes into your marketing strategy in this tutorial. The second thing you want to do, and this is something that you did in your business plan, if you looked at the video on how to do your business plan, so you can really pull some of this information over, and this is going to be really handy for you to revisit it too, is going to help you as you are working through your business, is understanding your target audience. So again, think about when you did your business planning, who are you trying to reach with your business? And in your marketing plan, you might even do some market research, use some survey, look at some analytics, think about the preferences, behaviors, and demographics of who you're trying to reach. And I gave you in the business planning section some tools you can use to create some buyer personas. You can use all of that again to think about that target audience here in your marketing strategy. And again, I'm going through this quickly, broad strokes. We're going to dive into these things more deeply as we go along, but just kind of to absorb what you want in this marketing strategy. The third thing that you want is to think about your competition. Who is out there who is doing something similar to you and competing with the people that you're trying to sell to get your work to your audience? So do some research. Look online. What are they doing? What are their marketing strategies? What are their strengths? What are their weaknesses? I'm going to put some tools here. You may have heard things like SWOT analysis. I'm going to put some tools here for you to use to do some competitive analysis of who else is in your market space and what they're doing well, what you're doing different. But this is where your analysis of the competition will go. And then this is where you evaluate your position in the market. Where do you stand out? What are you doing that's different? What are your opportunities and what are your threats? The fourth thing that you want to do is, this is really important, because this is something that when you're talking to people later, when we talk about sales planning, you're going to use this piece over and over in number 4. So define your unique selling proposition. This is what sets you apart. And we talked about this a little bit too in the business plan. So you can pull again from the business plan here to the marketing plan, and you're going to pull this from the marketing plan into the sales plan. But what is it that makes your work unique and different compared to your competitors? And you can see how this kind of all builds up and sticks together, and this is what we're going for. But spend some time thinking about this and putting some words down here. And you're going to want to craft something called your USP, but that's your unique selling proposition. And if you put something down that's really in your own words about what makes your work special and stand out, that feels comfortable, like an old shoe for you to say over and over again, that's ideal because you're going to use it in your marketing materials, you're going to use it in your selling. It's something that you really feel comfortable and confident about saying about your work that makes it special. The fifth thing, and we're going to talk about this when it comes to marketing, the marketing plan, is what marketing channels might you use? Now we're going to dive into a bunch of examples of marketing channels, but these are things where you're going to think about, where is my marketing going to live? So this is things where you think about social media. Am I going to do word of mouth and networking? Am I going to do SEO and blogging? Am I going to do content marketing strategies, email marketing strategies? And again, I'm going to talk about these more in depth when we talk about the marketing channels and the marketing plan, key activities for each. But what I want you to do in this fifth step is to just kind of do some research on where your target audience lives. So if you've kind of made this client avatar, I want you to think about, for number 5, does your client avatar spend a lot of time on LinkedIn? Does your client avatar spend a lot of time on YouTube? Does your client avatar spend a lot of time on email? And start to kind of flesh out your marketing channels to match that target audience. And we're going to use that when we go back to our marketing plan. This, for me, is where I started to get confused and lost in the sauce of matching my marketing channels to the target audience, to key activities. So I will say to you, if this is where overwhelm starts to build up for you, if you're like me, that's okay, that's normal. Give yourself some space to breathe and know that you will sort it out and just absorb what you can and do what you can and know that it will become clear and make sense as you move forward. But for now, just start thinking about what marketing channels make sense for your work and your audience. Start with a few and know that you can build. The sixth thing is thinking about marketing tactics. So a content plan is where we think about what kind of stuff do we want to put out in the world to talk about the work that we do? Are we going to do blog posts? Are we going to do videos? Are we going to do infographics? And what are we going to say? Now, again, this is something that's going to come out more when we talk about our marketing plan and is going to depend a lot upon the channels that we use. So if numbers 5 and 6, we kind of want to put a pin in and say, I have a rough idea that I want to put videos in of myself painting and I want to put them on Facebook, but this is going to change and develop as I understand my channels more. That's okay for a starting place, and you will absolutely grow and develop that as you understand your platforms and your planning more. But that's roughly what we're talking about in terms of channels and tactics. Number 7 is set a budget. And in terms of marketing, if you're a solopreneur, you can absolutely do what we call organic marketing, which is a budget of 0. And this is where I started, and this is where many of us start. And in fact, I encourage you to start with a budget of 0, because this will help you understand where people organically find you before you start putting money behind it. And I don't encourage you to start putting money behind it. And I've heard professional marketers give this same advice. I don't encourage you to start putting money behind your marketing until you have a pretty good understanding of what your organic marketing looks like, and until you can start to put money behind your marketing consistently and regularly. Or that's the same as kind of putting money in the trash. So set a budget could be, eventually at some point, I do want to put this amount of money behind marketing, but as a starting point, I'm going to get I want to do vlogging, so I want to get a video editing software or something like this. The next thing is create a marketing calendar. This is going to help you stay consistent. The next thing is to create a marketing calendar. Now, this has to go with that advice that you've probably heard with marketing, which is it's really important to stay consistent. And a lot of marketing platforms like social media, for example, will have a scheduling calendar, which will let you pre-post content. Some of us like using paper and pencil to help us schedule our content. Whatever your method is, planning and scheduling out your content and for your marketing is going to help you stay consistent and stay organized. So you want to have a detailed calendar to outline when and where you're going to put your marketing out into the world. The ninth thing is implement the strategy. So I said we're going to move over to the marketing plan. And so I want to just kind of give you, here's what comes next in our strategy, and then let's pop over to the plan. So you're going to implement the strategy. You're going to roll out these marketing activities according to the strategy that you so carefully pieced together, and you're going to monitor your progress. In fact, number 10 is measure and analyze your results. You're going to track key metrics. You're going to evaluate effectiveness. Let's pause here and let's pop over to how to write a marketing plan, because we've talked about things like choosing your channels, developing tactics, and we've talked about putting these things on a calendar. And I've said that I've gotten lost in the sauce a little bit when it's come to picking your channels and making the content make sense per your audience, per your channels. So let's talk about how to plan those things. So I want to give you just a highlight, and this is also in the Business Basics course, and it's called How to Write a Marketing Plan. And this goes along with the steps on a marketing strategy that we were just talking about. I want to give you an example of marketing channels. And with each one of these channels, I'm going to give you some key activities that you would do to market using each one of these channels, and various business goals from your business plan that you would use these marketing channels in support of, as well as key metrics you might follow for these channels to define success for those business goals. So I've got many more on this handout than I'm going to cover in this video, but I'm going to cover a few highlights just to kind of show you what I mean. And I put this together because ultimately this helped a lot of brain cells connect for me in terms of how to do marketing more than putting the strategy together. I feel like this, pairing the marketing channels with the key activities with the business goals, really helped me feel like I could wrap my arms around what I needed to do with my marketing. So let's take an example. A marketing channel is social media marketing. So underneath this marketing channel, you would choose which social media matches your target audience. So for example, certain demographics based upon age, for example, you might find on Facebook, you might find on Instagram, you might find on YouTube, you might find on LinkedIn, you might find on Pinterest, you might find on TikTok. Let's take Facebook. Okay, you do your research and decide, okay, Facebook matches my target audience. So here's some key activities in terms of marketing that you would use Facebook for. You would create and schedule posts, obviously. You would use it to engage with your followers. You would run ads. You would monitor analytics. You would respond to comments and messages. That's pretty straightforward as to like, here's what we would use Facebook for, okay? But here's the business goals that you would use Facebook to support. You want to increase your brand awareness. You want people to know like who you are and recognize you. You want to engage with your customers, like in a social capacity. You want to capture leads. And what that means in a marketing sense is you want to kind of put yourself out there and give people a place in which to send you their contact information so that you can follow up with them via email, via phone, or whatever information you want them to give you that you can reach back out to them off of social media. You want to drive traffic, again, off of social media to your art website, for example, or you want to boost sales. And that would be if you were selling directly from a store that you created on social media. So those would be some goals that you would have related to your business plan that you would use Facebook for. So let me give you a different example. For me, out of all of those things, I've chosen based upon who I know is on Facebook out of the people I'm trying to reach and everything I'm doing with my business. Facebook for me, I run ads to capture leads. That's it. None of the other things. Not right now. Maybe at some point, but right now I'm really trying to find my people and give them a way to reach me by phone or by email. So they send me their phone or email through an ad, and I call them or email them back to start a conversation. That's all I use Facebook for. That is the marketing capacity in which I use Facebook. Let's go for another one. Email marketing. This is another marketing channel. So you could, in terms of key activities, you could underneath, by the way, email marketing, there could be newsletters, there could be promotional emails, there could be drip campaigns. Let's choose newsletters. So key activities for newsletters could be creating and sending newsletters, segmenting your audience, monitoring performance, analyzing opener click rates, following up with subscribers. So the goals that might accompany the use of newsletters would be nurturing customer relationships, driving website traffic. Let's say you've got a button in your email to point people towards your art website, capturing leads. There might be a button or a place in your newsletter to, again, get contact information for you to connect with them in another way outside of the email. Boost sales. You might introduce buy tickets here or buy artwork here, etc., so on, directly through your email. So you probably want to narrow your email for a particular goal when you send it. And metrics that you would use is you would look at your open rate, something called your click-through rate, your conversion rate, sales generated, bounce rate, but these are things that are usually reported within the software that you use to send email out. And this is what you could use to track. Some other channels that are on this worksheet that you can look at this information on: search engine marketing, affiliate marketing, influencer marketing, traditional marketing, event marketing, online advertising, PR, mobile marketing, e-commerce and online marketplaces, word of mouth marketing. So take a look and see if it helps you kind of organize what you want to do to sort out, here's a marketing channel, here's how you might connect it to what you're trying to accomplish with your business, and here's how you might monitor its progress to see how it's working for you and adjust it in terms of your marketing strategy. So popping off that marketing plan and back over to your marketing strategy, if we were talking about number 10, which was measure and analyze your results, with your marketing strategy, that's something you want to do all the time. So depending on what you're doing, for me, for example, I would run an ad on Facebook for a week, and then I'm going to monitor and analyze how it went and tweak and adjust. But an overall marketing strategy, I'm going to look at and make adjustments to every quarter. So this is kind of up to you how you're going to do this for your business. And then number 11 on your marketing strategy is adjust and optimize. You're going to have a plan for how you refine your tactics, make adjustments to your strategy based upon the data that you collect. And how are you going to improve? And then the very last thing is you want to document and share on your marketing plan what you found, because you very well may go back, and I've done this before. Man, I think that first thing that I tried to improve worked better than the thing that I tried to improve it to, or etc. and so on. And marketing is a thing that is constantly moving and changing. And it's something that I have to be honest, I did not enjoy the learning curve. But once I got through the learning curve, it's a process that I enjoy more than I thought I would. So I would tell you, try to kind of absorb the process. Once you get the framework, I think that you'll be able to do follow-up research on specific pieces of it independently. And I'll try to fill the business basics with as much of the quality kind of pieces of additional resources that I found as I can to help you on that journey. So stick with it, stay with it. I've gotten myself to tears trying to get through that learning curve, but it's absolutely doable independently. And then once you feel like you've gotten that, decide where you want to go for help. I hope this introduction was helpful. I'm a resource to you, absolutely. If I can help you get through this introduction and get started with this marketing journey. And please feel free to reach out to me at questions@creativelyllc.com. And I hope this was helpful to you. Okay, bye-bye.